Hello and welcome to another installment of Math Simplified. So for today's business, we're going to carry on with the last case where we have case 4, where we'll see with the examples where the bigger value is negative and there's also a minus on the last term. And this is the last case of this video series. So let us get cracking with what is for today's business. So, first step first, we see that there's a difference of signs, right? So you can write that first. So one's a plus, one's a minus. The order doesn't matter. You could have also said, you could have also written it like that. The order doesn't matter. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to write the factors. So let's write x times x, right, is x squared. We're going to write our 3 down. So you're going to write 1 times 3 and 3 times 1. So it's an easy case, but we need to just get going. So x times 3, 3x, x times 1, x, and the signs are different, the last term. This one tells us the bigger one is negative, smaller one is positive. This one confirms this over here. So if you get that, you know you're correct. So let's write the factors. I'm going to write here, I put my x in here, ask myself, where's the x multiplying? The x is multiplying 1, the smaller number. The smaller number is positive. Okay, let's look at the other x. So the other x is multiplying the bigger number. So you put the 3 here, that must be minus. If you multiply this out, you will see, in fact, and you solve for it, you will get these solutions. That being x is equal to 3 or x is equal to minus 1. Okay. Let's go on to the second case. On this note, this is similar, not as tough, but it's also good to just get into the flow of things, right? So the last term is negative. So that means that there's a difference of signs. Okay, so we have a difference of signs. Okay, so now what we do is we write down these difference of these factors, x and x. The next step that we're going to do after that is we write the factors of 5. 1 times 5, 5 times 1, multiply through. Difference of sign, the bigger value is negative, the bigger value is negative. So here we get minus 5x. Here we get plus x. You add them together, we get minus 4x. So there's agreement here and here. So now we can put our factors in. We can say that the x here is multiplying 5. The x is multiplying 5. Also note that I've put it towards where the negative is, because our bigger value has to have a negative in front of it. And then the smaller one must be positive. So that's plus x, so here you put your x, that's plus x, there's the 1. If you multiply out, you will see, in fact, you will get the result above that. Okay. Let's go on to the third case. Whoops, sorry, that is the last example. Let's go on, and now we're on example 3. Okay, so we do the same thing. We go here, we write x and x. Here we write 1 times 7 and 7 times 1. We multiply through. That's 7x, that's x. Is the bigger number negative? Yes, it is, and the small number is positive. And when we add that, we get minus 6x. So this agrees with that. So let's make our brackets. This x is multiplying negative 7. This x is multiplying negative 7. The smaller x is multiplying the smaller number, 1. So the x is multiplying the smaller number, which must be positive. And there you have it. If you solve this, you would get the solution. So you get, that would give us, therefore, x is equal to minus 1, or x is equal to 7. If you take these values and you put them back into the solution, or into the equation, you will get 0. That's also how you check that the left-hand side, oops, sorry about that, the left-hand side equals the right-hand side. If you get this, so if the left side is 0 and it's equal to the right side, which is 0, then you know in fact it is a solution. It makes the equation true. Okay, so now let us look at case 4. So over here in case 4, what we're going to do now is we're going to write our factors down, x and x. We write the factors of 15. 1 times 15, 3 times 5, 5 times 3, 15 times 1. So let us multiply this example. So this is, you're going to play around, like I said in some other videos. That gives us 5x and 3x. The bigger one is negative, the smaller one is positive. You add them up together, you get minus 2x. And you'll see that this agrees with that. So I'm going quite brisk, I'm going quite fast. So let us go here, write the factors. I'm not going to solve for x for this one, but you would follow the same procedure as I did over here. Okay, so this would be the x is multiplying 5. X is multiplying 5. This is the bigger number, it must be negative. The smaller number is multiplying 1. Oops, see, I made a mistake. It's multiplying 3. That must be positive. If you add the two factors, so the 3x and the minus 5x, you'll get minus 2x. Okay, let's go on to the last example, a bit more tricky, but I think it's just good practice to know. Also, to practice examples where the coefficient has a 2 in front of it, and that makes it a lot harder. Okay, so now you have to play with more factors. So here we're going to go 2x times x. We're going to write the factors of 12. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, I almost lost my train of thought, 4 times 3, and we have 6 times 2, 12 times 1. Okay, so we've got to play around with this, and you see there's quite a lot of combinations, so it's easy to make a mistake. So I'm going to go for the right combination, just for time's sake, but next time maybe I'll show you getting it wrong and then getting it right. Okay, so if you go 2x times 4, that gives us, whoops, that doesn't give us 4x, that gives us 8x. And x times 3 will give us 3x. The bigger value is negative, the smaller value is positive. And if we go like that, you will get minus 5x, which agrees with our value over here. So let's write the factors down. X and x. So x, oops, you see I even forgot the 2. So 2x must multiply, this 2x must multiply 4. So it must multiply, the 4 is the bigger one, or the 2x times 4 is the bigger factor. So that must give us negative. The smaller one is x times 3, which must be positive. So if you multiply this out, you will see, in fact, you'll get the answer. So if I go now, let's just go here, 2x plus 3 equals 0, or x minus 4 equals 0. And then if you go 2x equals negative 3 and you divide by 2, that will give you your final result. Or x is equal to 4. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we want to see if this is actually in fact, I mean, this is just an aside, but it's also